Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhakti class. So many festivals are happening on every Saturday. Last week we could not have class. So in the first class, we briefly had the introduction to entire fourth canto. We discussed about the connection between third canto to fourth canto. And then we started discussing from chapter 1 of canto 4. So wherein Maitreya Rishi is going to talk about the lineage of the three daughters of Swayambhu Manu, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. So Swayambhu Manu gave his first daughter Akuti to Sage Rishi, with a condition that, okay, my dear Sage, whoever is going to be born to your wife, basically my daughter, that son will be my son, something like that. So because he knew about the Supreme Lord is going to be born as the son of Akuti and Sage Ruchi. So the twins were born, expansions of the Supreme Lord Vishnu and his counterpart Mother Lakshmi. That they are known as Yajna and Dakshina, I suppose. And Yajna was brought by Swayambhu Manu. Dakshina was there in the home of Sage Ruchi and Akuti. Eventually, when they grew up to youth, they got married and they begot so many children. And during the first Manvantara period, during the Swayambhu Manvantara period, there was no one qualified to take up the position of Indra. So Lord Yajna himself took up the post of Indra, and the children are the sons of Lord Yajna, which he begot through Dakshina. They became different devatas. Just like, for example, now the current Manvantara, we have 12 Adityas, who are the 12 sons of Kashyapa and Aditi, are the principal devatas. Something like that. That time they were the devatas. And like that, 6 category of people are required for a Manvantara to be maintained. All those list was given in the section. And then Devahuti. Kardama begot 9 daughters to Devahuti. The first daughter, who was the first daughter? First daughter was Kala. Kala was married to Maruchi and gave birth to Kashyapa and Purniman. And Kashyapa will beget children and populate the entire universe during 6th Manvantara. And Purniman had 2 sons, Vijaya and Viraja and Vishwaga. So that is what we discussed. And then the next daughter was Anasuya, was given in marriage to Atri. So Atri had a desire to have a son who is similar to the control of the universe. As a result of that, he had 3 sons who are the partial expansions of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. That is being indicated here in this 15th verse. And then Vidura asks, how is it that the 3 lords appeared as the sons of Atri and Anasuya? So there is a little story. The story goes for a couple of verses, many verses, about 10 verses, something like that. So that we will see today. Maitreya Uvacha Brahmana Chodita Srishtav Atrir Brahmavidamvara Sahapatnya Yayau Priksham Kuladrim Tapasi Stita.
Maitreya said, when Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations after marrying Anusuya, Atri Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in the valley of the mountain known as Raksha.
So it is a common feature that Brahma would do always with his children. As soon as the children are born, he would say that, okay, my dear son. So it is our duty, our family duty is to beget children and continue the creation. So I'm doing and request all of you to follow. That's what he started with the 4 Kumaras, who are his first born sons. They said no. Then Rudra appeared. He told Rudra to do it. Rudra began to by fearful personalities. Then Brahma himself told Lord Shiva, my dear son, don't do like that. That's kind of progeny. Don't beget such kind of progeny. He stopped. And then eventually the 10 sons, out of 10, one was Narada Muni, remained celibate, but remaining 9 are now, like we are talking about their children now. So one of the 9 was Atri. And Brahma told him, so my dear son, get married and beget children. Just as he told to Kardama Muni. So in order to follow the words of Lord Brahma, Kardama performed tapasya for 10,000 years to get a suitable wife. He got darshan of Vishnu. He eventually got a beautiful wife known as Devahuti, and she begot 9 sons. And eventually the Supreme Lord himself appeared as their son. Sorry, 9 daughters, and the Supreme Lord himself appeared as their son. So that all we saw in the previous canto. Same thing here also. Brahmana Chodita Srishtau. So inspired Brahma by to create progeny. So as Kardamuni went to perform austerities, similarly Atri Muni also went to perform austerities along with his wife in Vriksha mountain. Yaya Uruksham Kuladrim. So best of the mountains known as Kuladri, there he went and performed austerities. Yes, Prabhu.
Why do they go to perform austerity? What happens?
Same. Forget about the austerities, at least to the current scenario in ISKCON, we always hear that we need to follow samskar, 16 samskaras. So in order to beget children, we were told that, at least the newly married couple were told that follow Garbhadan samskar, something like that. At least some basic ritual, something should be followed. That is to invite a, what you can say, qualified soul to be born.
So when somebody performs austerities, happens to that case.
No, it's not what happens. It is basically we are soliciting the mercy of the Supreme Lord. As a result of that, we are going to have a devotee son, a devotee child. So that was the whole idea. Even I don't know in the city culture, city people are so educated and all in the villages now. At least in my childhood, I used to see that when the newly married couple, if they do not have children for at least 3-4 years, so generally they visit a lot of holy places, they offer prayers, they follow vratas, they follow vows, etc., etc., just to solicit the causeless mercy of Supreme Lord to have children. So this is a common feature is always there. Since it is Kali Yuga, we may not do so much big things, but it is generally followed. So these people are not ordinary people. Kardamuni performed tapasya for 10,000 years. And Atri Muni also performed tapasya for 100 years. We will see in the next verse. That is basic requirement. It is natural, it is there. It is not that begetting children not a by the way happens. It is a planned activity. Nowadays, it is all we what to say, all we are highly educated people. Na? So now situation is very bad. Our Bhakti hospital doctors they conduct na so many Garbhadan sanskar, so many. Now the situation is so bad. Our food is so bad. Our culture is so bad. Our atmosphere is so bad. The fertility rate has reduced gradually. So now surrogacy becoming like most important phenomena. People they are not able to beget children. They are requesting somebody else to beget their children and then give surrogacy. So it is like that. Because science has so advanced, they say that okay, we can do it for you. Test tube babies are this one, that one, cloning, बहुत सारा है. So we are drifted from the natural path of lifestyle. Yes, Mataji, you have something to say about it?
Hare Krishna.
Or doctor? Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I had heard in one of the Prabhupada's lecture one thing. If you allow me, I'll share. It is regarding this that he said that it is not that just by male and female secretions come together and from there some birth takes place. If until and unless Supreme Lord's mercy is there and but one particular living soul is put into that emulsion by the mercy of the Lord, there will be no birth, even if male and female come together. So uh, means that mercy of the Lord is very much required, and also for the Atri Muni, he also wanted son like means he had that desire to have son like God. So means austerities are important. That's what I just want.
Yeah, of course. In the case of Atri or Kardama, these are special people. So, in order to invoke a special personality as their child or their wife, they need to go through austerities. But in general, also, begetting children is not a by the way activity. It is one of the very important, what you can say, samskara, or one of the very important duty of any householder. Yeah, to beget godly children. Because ultimately the purpose of begetting children is to provide opportunity for the jivas to progress spiritually and then come back to God. That is the ultimate purpose. That is the whole idea. So in that way. So, and it is the responsibility on behalf of Lord Brahma. We all say that Lord Brahma is our forefather, our grandfather. So our father, the Manu is like grandfather, Brahma is like great grandfather, something like that. It is the Brahma's duty to continue the creation till the end of the day. So the things would go on. By the way, educate them in proper order, and so that they following the proper sadhana, they'll come back to Godhead. So in order to do all these things, the Varnashram Dharma always recommends the married couple to follow all these 16 samskaras, starting with Garbhadana samskara. From the point of view of children, starts with Garbhadana samskara. Then eventually there are many samskaras during the pregnancy period of 9 months. Then after birth there is Jatakarma samskara. And then there is Namakarana samskara at 21 days. And there is Uttana samskara around 3 months or something like that. And then there is Annaprasana samskara around 6 months. And then before the end of the year, there is Shikamundana samskara, cutting the hair. And also there is another samskara of putting a hole on the ears. That is also there. And then maybe around 3 years or 4, something like that. That is like generally people do for around 4 years. Aksharabhyasa samskara. Today is the day for Aksharabhyasa. In the south, especially in Andhra Pradesh, all the parents start the education of their children. So if they are between 3 to 5, so they go to the holy temple of Saraswati or any temple they have in their village or in the nearby vicinity, traditional temple, they go there and start the education of their children. That is Aksharabhyasa samskara. And then Vidyarambha samskara or Upanayana samskara is there. Then Vidyarambha samskara. There is Snatakosava. Once education is completed, they go through Snatakosava. Then Guru Dakshina samskara, offering Dakshina to Guru. Then coming home, they get married. That is called Vivaha samskara. So starting from Garbhadana all the way up to Vivaha samskara is the responsibility of the parents for a child to beget and to take care of the nourishment and growth of the child. After the marriage is over, then the responsibility of the parents is done. And now they need to follow all the other samskaras for their children, for those children going to be born for them. And when they die, the children will perform Antyeshti samskara for the deceased parents. So that is the only one Antyeshti, which is 16 samskara, which is meant for the children. Otherwise, remaining 15 are done by the parents and one is done by the children. So these are all meant for governing our daily activities so that they'll go in the proper order, not deviating from the orders given by the orders set up by the universal governance, something like that. So that was the whole idea. So whether to become parents or to get a good son, it is common practice that the newly married couple are requested to go to different holy places and solicit the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And as a result of that, they would beget good children. So that is, I've seen this in my village and my relatives. They do all these rituals and vows and vratas. If they are not actually begetting children, even after 3-4 years of marriage, they really perform some severe austerities, severe vows, doing some vratas and austerities and this, that, so many. They take so many vows. That is natural inclination for any household to have children in their family. So it is natural. So here Atri Muni is not an ordinary person. So ordinary person has to, it's okay, extraordinary person need to have extraordinary lineage. So for that purpose, he and his wife, both of them went to perform austerities in Riksha mountain. But one interesting point is that, which is come to the next couple of verses, Atrir Brahma Vadam Vara is best among the knowers of Brahman, or is best among the teachers of the path following which one attains Brahman. So we have discussed in third canto, if you remember, Narada Muni appeared in order to preach Bhakti all over. The four Kumaras appeared in order to preach Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Tapasya and Vairagya. The four sons have responsibility for four items of Vidya. And the 9 Manasaputras of Brahma, headed by Maitreya, headed by Atri and other sons, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Vasishta, etc. They are all meant to teach Nishkama Karma Yoga. It is their responsibility to teach Nishkama Karma Yoga all over as a householder. When someone practices Nishkama Karma Yoga as a householder, they will become qualified to take up to Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga in their Vanaprastha or Sannyas order. As a result of that, they will attain Brahma Sayujya. That is the process they teach. So, in order to teach it, one need to be equipped with that knowledge. That's why he is called as Brahma Vidamvara. Atri Muni is expert at teaching the process that will award one Brahma Sayujya. So, something like that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Braj Radhika Mataji wants to join and it's somewhere she is not able to join. Prabhuji, can you help?
Oh, you do one thing. Either she might be looking, she might be connected to some other old link. Just inform her, open the description may be there. So join the current link. This link is different from the previous link, which we used to have for our previous third canto link.
Okay, so what do I do? So, 1 second. I will go out and I will send her the link. Okay, Prabhuji, I will do something.
Tell her to go through the previous messages in the same our WhatsApp group. There the link is there. Through that she can join. Okay. So now he is called as Brahma Vidamvara, the best of the knowers of the path back to Brahman. So why and how it is important will come to know in the next 2 set of verses. Tasmin prasuna stabdaka palashaka palasashoka kanane vardibis Vardibisravadbir Utkuste Niravidyaya Samantata Pranayamena Samyamya Manovarshatam Muni Atistad Ekapadena Nirdvandvo Anila Bhojana. Someone read the translation?
In that mountain valley flows a river named Nirvindya. On the bank of the river are many Ashoka trees and other plants full of Palasha flowers. And there is always the sweet sound of water flowing from a waterfall. The husband and wife reach that beautiful place. There, the great sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercises and thereby controlling all attachments. He remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air, and stood there on one leg for 100 years.
So these are all details about
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry. Sorry Prabhuji. Sundar Leela Prabhuji also wants to join and Braj Radhika Mate. Dono, I've sent the link. They should be waiting for you to take them.
No, it won't allow any access that box that is not there. The wait box is not there. I removed it. So they can directly join. If they are not able to join, tell them switch off their device and restart and then rejoin.
Achha, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that.
So,
thank you.
Hare Krishna. here in these two verses, the surrounding circumstances are there in the Ruksha mountain. So they gone to Ruksha Kuladrim. So in that place, within a grove of flowering Palasa and Ashoka trees, that entire area is surrounded by Palasa trees and Ashoka trees, filled with lot of sounds of Niravadya river. They are performing tapasya on the bank of Niravadya river. Atri Muni, along with his wife Anasuya, controlling his mind, or to be more precise, controlling their minds and breathing. He remained standing on one foot. Atistad Ekapadena. He was standing on one foot. For how long? Varsha Shatam Muni. For 100 years. And what about his daily food? Consuming only air. He was not even drinking the water from the Niravadya river. He was just breathing air and performing austerities for 100 human years continuously. It's 100 years only, it is very small. 10th canto we hear that there are two personalities, Prishni and Sutapa, with a desire to beget a son. They also performed tapasya. Can anyone imagine how long they performed tapasya? Anyone can guess? One yuga means how many years? Which yuga? One kalpa? Correct. So imagination also should have some limit. They performed austerities for one Chaturyuga. Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali combined together, whatever the time, that much time they performed austerities. So what they were eating? They were drinking some water. They were drinking some they were eating some dry leaves and dry fruits. Not dry fruits the way we say that kaju and etc. Kaju, badam, not like that. The fruits which are fallen from the trees, and when they dried up, though the such kind of fruits they would eat, which are available in the forest naturally. No, they don't die. Why? No, nothing will happen.
Prabhuji, is it because of the, sorry, if someone in the class is talking, I'll ask later. I didn't let him complete.
You don't die because of starvation or anything like that.
Here, Prabhuji is asking that are they do not die if they don't eat anything, like that is saying. So I am saying that no, because the reason is if somebody is performing austerities, they are austere. So they are not interested in any other things, like as it is mentioned in Niravadya, Nirdvando, without any duality. Their mind is only focused on performing austerities. It is not focused here and there. Because one's mind focus here and there, we need to have a lot of things to eat. If mind is focused on one simple thing, for example, all the devotees also on the fasting days, they know that we need to fast. So they are not worried about eating on time. So since it is fasting day, they don't worry about eating breakfast, eating lunch, eating dinner. The whole day they fast nicely. Next day morning they eat. Otherwise they continue. So, but these people are all from Satyuga background. Satyuga people are meant to perform tapasya. That is their main sadhana. So by the way, they would do it without any issue. Their bodies are meant to do tapasya only. Their bodies can do tapasya for such long without any hindrances. Unlike our Kali-yuga bodies. For us, it is tapasya to stay healthy, to stay normal. Then what to speak of performing some severe tapasya? It is like that. So standing on one leg, just breathing, he continued tapasya for 100 human years without any other activity to perform. So such is the kind of severe austerities he was performing.
Hare Krishna.
This much.
Prabhuji, is there any special significance of standing on one leg and doing tapasya? Like even Hiranyakashipu also, he was also standing and doing tapasya. I don't know whether on one leg or two legs, but
More austerity, more severity. It's like more tapasya. More severe tapasya means more. That's all. Just
Okay, means
increasing the
physically someone
level of
undergoes.
tapasya.
um,
Yeah.
Okay, means physically one willingly undergoes more pain for
Mm.
attaining the Lord. Okay.
Yeah. And it is also said that some kind of tapasya is like that. During the summer, they keep fire all around and stand in the middle. And during the winter, they submerge themselves in the cold water. Already winter, it is cold, suffering. And increasing that intensity of suffering by entering into cold water. And summer is already burning. And standing in the midst of fire again, increasing the burning. So it is like that. That is just to increase the intensity of tapasya.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
शरणं तं प्रपद्येऽहं या एव जगदीश्वरा प्रजाम् आत्मसमां मह्यं प्रयच्छातु इति चिन्तयन्.
He was thinking, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I have taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him.
Yeah, here comes the problem. Because, of course, you see here, what he is asking, he thought, Chintayan, iti Chintayan, while performing the austerities, that hard tapasya for 100 years, he was thinking in his mind, I surrender to the Lord of the universe. Sharanam tam prapadyeham ya eva Jagadishwara. The problem is that he does not know who is the Jagadishwara. Or he does not want any show of disrespect towards the Jagadishwara. So kindly understand, he is a Brahmavadi. He is the teacher of Brahmavadi. He is a follower of Brahmavada. So for him, the ultimate authority is Brahman. And that Brahman manifests in the form of so many deities who are all called as Jagadishwaras. Indra is the Jagadishwara, Manu is the Jagadishwara, and Brahma is the Jagadishwara, Shiva is the Jagadishwara, Vishnu is the Jagadishwara. So he does not want to disrespect anyone. So he thought that, okay, for me, Brahman is ultimate authority, but from the point of view of this material world, there is some Jagadishwara. Whoever he may be, let he be merciful to me and give me a son. So by saying someone as Jagadishwara, so it may appear to be disrespecting others. He does not want to get into it. So this is one way of seeing it into this particular understanding of Atri Muni. The other way of seeing it is, as Prabhupada writes in the purport, that he does not know who is the Jagadishwara only.
How can that? Father is very Brahmaji. He
Hmm.
meditated.
Louder so that they will hear. Come close. Louder.
The father knows who is Jagadishwara and you don't.
Prabhuji is saying that his father Brahma knows who is Jagadishwara. How can he does not know? Anyone, any answer?
Even the other sons also had that problem, na Prabhuji. Like we see four Kumaras, so they are also the sons of Brahma.
Hmm.
So again, the same thing will come up. Maybe they were destined to propagate particular path of devotion, and that is why they had taken such understanding. That's what I feel. I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
that is true. That is true. Because for the path of jnana, the ultimate authority is Brahman. So it is Brahman expands in the form of all the other personalities. So that is a general understanding. So just to teach all the followers in that way, in the sense. So he knew there is some Jagadishwara, but he is not. We can say that. I mean, we don't know exactly what is happening with him, but we can say that he's not well acquainted with who is who. He knows there is Vishnu for maintenance, there is Brahma for creation, there is Shiva for annihilation, etc., etc. But among the three, who is the Jagadishwara? Just like we also hear about Tirupati Balaji pastime, all the great Brahmanas, they are performing yajna, and they don't know who is the ultimate enjoyer of the yajna. That pastime. So Narada Muni comes and asks all the Brahmanas, so for whose purpose, for whose happiness you are performing this yajna? Some said Brahma, some said Vishnu, some said Shiva. So then he said that why don't you test them? Who is the best among the three? Who is the Prashanta Murti among the three? Then they selected Bhrigu Muni to test them. Bhrigu went and tested Brahma by speaking ill words. Sorry, he tested Brahma by not respecting him, mental offense. He tested Lord Shiva by speaking ill words, and he tested Lord Vishnu by kicking on his chest. So Brahma became angry even for not respecting him. Shiva became angry even for some words of criticism. But Lord Vishnu did not become angry even after being kicked on the chest. So thus Lord Vishnu's superior position has been established through that testing procedure, something like that. So this kind of thing we always hear many times, as you have mentioned, the four Kumaras also kind of, so that kind of understanding. So this is the problem with the Jnana path. Their ultimate authority is Brahman, which has no form, no qualities, no attributes. And whoever has form, attributes, etc., for them they are lesser. Among the lesser, who is greater, who is lower? No need to worry. Why do they have to care? Anyway, they have nothing to do with this material world. Anyway, they have to go to Brahman. For them, Brahman only interested. They are only interested in knowing about Brahman more, not about local authorities. So from that point of view, we can see it. So he says that whoever may be the Lord of the universe, let me surrender unto him, and may he give me offspring who is equal to him. Prajam Atma Samam. So this was the same desire of Prishni and Sutapa. But in the case of Prishni and Sutapa, they knew. So when Lord Vishnu appeared, they said that we want to have a son like you. Directly they told Lord Vishnu only. And even in the fourth canto, yeah, very soon we are going to, not fourth canto, fifth canto. We will see that Anga Maharaj, when he also performed tapasya, Lord Vishnu appeared. Then the priests who were performing tapasya on behalf of the king, they said that, so my dear Lord, our king is performing this tapasya with an intention to have a son like you. It is not Anga, it was, who is he? Nabi. So then Lord Vishnu said that there is no one who is equal to me. I will only appear as his son. So Lord appeared as Lord Rishabdev. So this is a common feature. Many times devotees perform austerities to have the Supreme Lord, and they never say that we want to have you as our son. They always say that we want to have a son who is similar to you, who is somewhat like you. So by the way, the Lord has to appear because there is no one who is equal to the Lord who is like the Lord. So that is like that. So here Atri Muni is performing the austerities. So with little bit ambiguity. So whoever may be the local world controller, let he give me a son. So it's like that. Who is equal to him? Atmasimam. Prajam Atmasimam. Something like that. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, Atri Muni concentrated his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. This kind of devotional service in which knowledge of God's name is lacking is also described in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that four kinds of men with backgrounds of pious activities come to him, asking for what they need. Artho Jignasur Artharthi Jnanicha Bhartarshapa. Chaturvida Bhajanti Imam Jano Sukritino Arjuna. So Prabhupada is quoting that verse from 7th chapter. Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore he is not supposed to have been a pure devotee, because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. Prabhupada writes like this. Although he wanted a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his desire was material because he did not want the personality of Godhead himself, but only a child exactly like him. Of course, this is the typical tendency of Jnana practitioners. In the sense, even though Lord is standing in front of them, they ask for moksha only. So we don't want to have any opportunity to serve you, but we want Sajya Mukti. So, of course, this is how they were trained from the beginning of their life. That is how they develop their aspirations, and they are loyal to that particular path and aspirations. So, in that way. So with that desire, he was performing tapasya. So what happened as a result of that hardcore austerities all over the universe? They are somewhat similar to Hiranyakashipu. Whatever Hiranyakashipu was performing tapasya, the entire 3 planetary systems are burning. Same thing is happening here also. Tapyamanam tribhuvanam pranayamai dasagrina nirgatena munirmurdna samiksha prabhavastraya apsaro muni gandharva siddha vidyadaro raghai vitayamana yashas tad ashrama padam yayo.
While Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, a blazing fire came out of his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, and that fire was seen by the 3 principal deities of the 3 worlds. Prabhuji, should I continue 22?
Yes, both the verses.
At that time, the 3 deities approached the hermitage of Atri Muni, accompanied by the denizens of the heavenly planets, such as the celestial beauties, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, and the Nagas. Thus, they entered the ashrama of the great sage who had become famous by his austerities.
So, tapyamanam tribhuvanam pranayamaida sagnina. So, what is happening? Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva spreading great fame, seeing that the 3 planetary system, the 3 worlds, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka, like fuel were burning, like the cow dung patties, like the wood, they began to burn because of the fire emanating from Atri Muni's head by the fire of pranayama. So, because he was performing tapasya for 100 years without eating, without any other thought. There is only one thought. Let me have a son who is similar to the controller of the universe and is simply breathing. So from our normal Ayurveda terminology, the pitta is increasing in his body. So the pitta is increased so much. It is coming out of his Brahmarandra and the entire universe is getting burned. The Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka became like the fuel for the fire to explode. The 3 planetary systems are getting burned means everyone in the 3 planetary systems are getting affected by the fire coming out of the body of Atri Muni. So when everyone prayed to the Supreme Lord, so the 3 deities, Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, understanding what's happening, it is causing a lot of inconvenience to the entire universe. So they came to the ashram to the hermitage of Atri Muni, along with Gandharva, Siddhas, Vidyadharas and Nagas. All the other people, in order to glorify the Lord, also glorify Atri Muni. They all came. Wherever Lord goes, everyone accompanies. That is a natural phenomena, common phenomena. The same thing we also see in relation to Brahma, Hiranyakashipu. When Hiranyakashipu was performing tapasya, the entire 3 planet systems are getting burnt. In fact, we see in the 3rd canto, 15th chapter that everywhere smoke is there, darkness is there. The Devatas getting disturbed going to into Brahma. They asked, what is the reason for this entire darkness, etc., etc. Then he talks about the 4 Kumaras going to Vaikuntha and all the entire pastime. He talks and tells that, please wait till the Lord comes. That time Lord will only solve this problem. We cannot do anything about it. Even when, remember, very soon we are going to talk about that. Dhruva Maharaj. So 6 months he performed austerities. So it's like that first month, maybe once in 3 days, he was eating some dry fruits. And next once in 6 days, he was eating dry leaves. Then once in 9 days, he was drinking some water. Then next once in 15 days, he was breathing. In the 6th month, for the whole month, he did not even breathe. He stopped the breath completely by the end of the 6 months. Since he stopped his breathing, the breathing air was choked up all over the universe. And all the devatas and all the other living entities all over the universe are getting breathlessness. Then they pray to Lord Vishnu. My dear Lord, for your mercy is performing such kind of severe austerities. As a result of that, air choked up all over the universe. So please do something. Then Lord Vishnu immediately comes to the place where he was performing tapasya and blesses him. so that the entire world will continue its normal course, something like that. So here also, seeing a danger to the entire universe, immediately the three of them came down to the ashram of our Atri Muni.
Hare Krishna.
Controlling. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, what is the connection? Like, means, suppose one person is performing austerity, and he may understand by his yogic powers and things like fire may come out, or he has stopped breathing, like in Dhruva Maharaj's case. But then, what is the connection of that particular body with the entire universe? How it affects the entire universe? Like, I always get confused to understand.
No, it is not the body which is affecting the entire universe. It is the severity of tapasya. That is, the tapasya is so severe that see, Dhruva Maharaj as one person. So the understanding explained there that generally the air goes in and goes out, goes in and goes out. At the end of the 5th month, he took all the air inside. In a sense, whatever breathing air, according to our understanding, maybe a limited air, maybe one some cubic centimeter, 1 cubic centimeter air or 10 cubic centimeters air he might have taken inside into his lungs. It is kept inside. But from the subtle point of view, it's air only. Everywhere it is air only. So he stopped the air without any motion inside his lungs, inside his body, inside his personality. So that air which is outside also became standstill. It can also it also cannot move here and there, and it does not allow anybody to breathe. So in something like that. So it is not that his body has that potency. That tapasya has that potency to do it. Tapasya, one person can influence the entire atmosphere. Even in the first canto at many places, Prabhupada says about this one point. Our whole purpose is to create Brahmanical culture, following which they will retain the mode of goodness in the entire universe. If there are no people who are following the Vedic culture, especially the Brahmanical culture, all over the universe in bits and pieces, the mode of goodness will completely operate by the over-flooded influence of the mode of passion and ignorance all over the universe, at least all over the on the surface of the earth around us. So Prabhupada would say that even one person's tapasya can do that in the positive way or in the negative way, whatever it is. Here we cannot say it is. You may question that why Atrimani is doing like that, causing inconvenience to the entire world. Why Dhruva has to do so severe austerity in causing inconvenience to entire world. It is not the desire of either Atrimani or Dhruva to cause inconvenience to anybody. They are simply following the prescribed process of tapasya. It is the severity with which they are following the tapasya will result in that kind of this thing. Even what to speak of that from the devotional point of view, Srila Bhakti Thakur, before starting his preaching activities, for continuously for 9 years, staying in Chaitanya Gaudiya Math area in that Navadip, in that Antardip area, where currently Chaitanya Gaudiya Math is there, in a small hut, he was performing Harinam chanting. Every day chanting as many, at least we can say that at least 192 rounds every day he was chanting like that for 9 years completely. I don't recall exact number, some 1 crore or something like that. That much japa I did. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he only. It is like 9 years time period. So in order to do anything substantially, first one need to go through austerities, without which one do not have any power to do it, one do not have any empowerment to do it. Even we saw in the second canto, third canto, before beginning the creation, Lord Brahma also performed severe tapasya for 1000 celestial years or 100 celestial years. So that this is the common practice. So that is how the things would happen in the world, were happening even currently, also in the future also will happen like that. So tapasya is the prerequisite in order to do something and accomplish the expected results.
That means, Prabhuji, how the way it affected Dhruva's tapasya or Atri Muni's tapasya, like that, whatever good they gain out of that tapasya will also have some effect on the entire universe. Can we
Obviously,
consider
now we are going to see that as a result of that tapasya, Atri Muni had a son who is known as
Dattatreya?
Dattatreya. And Dattatreya appearance is not a good effect to the entire universe.
Yeah, it
He is a
does.
teacher. He traveled all over and taught many people many this thing. If Atri Muni did not perform the tapasya, would Dattatreya would born? Would be born?
No.
No. Yeah, in that way we have to see. Like that we have to see.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Of course, none of them did go through inconvenience for longer time. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva understood immediately and they came. As soon as the effect is spreading here and there, they came. But in the case of Hiranyakashipu, he was willingly doing it. So Brahma has to come by force. Even though Brahma did not want to come, but he was forced to come. If we don't come, it will further affect the Devatas and other entire universe. So it is like that. So even in the case of Dhruva, Lord Vishnu was eager to come. So by the way, the effect is just they were seeing to what extent of severity can go. It is like curiosity of the Lord also. Let me see how much surrender he has. So when it is already touching the border, okay, enough is enough. Now no more. Then Lord comes immediately and then do the needful. So something like that. You can see. Here also, as soon as this effect is start spreading all over, the three deities came immediately. They did not wait others to go through suffering. Something like that. We can see. We are only just we should become astonished that what kind of effect the tapasya can have. So this is the result of that kind of sincere and severe tapasya. Even in our life also, if we take up some small austerities, they will really have big effect. Big in the sense, they will really have proportional effect. Whether big or small according to our perception, but proportional effect will be there. None of the tapasya will go in vain. Whatever we do in this world, everything will give us the result. So it's like that. Controlling the mind by pranayama. Atri Muni stayed there doing pranayama. That was mentioned in the 19th verse. The three deities saw the three worlds, which are acting like the fuel for his pranayama. Because of that, they are burned up by the fire of penance coming from the sage's head. So when they are about to catch fire, then immediately they came. Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, three of them came to Atri Muni. Tat pradurubhava samyoga viyodita manamuni uttishtan ekapadena dadarsha vibudarshabhan.
The sage was standing on one leg, but as soon as he saw that the three deities had appeared before him, he was so pleased to see them all together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg.
Yeah, as soon as the three deities came in front of him, he became so pleased because his tapasya became successful now. Eager to meet them because they had appeared standing on one leg in respect, he gazed at them. The first reception is that as soon as the three deities came, he opened his eyes and started looking at them with a pleasing countenance. Of course, there is some astonishment. At the same time, he was so pleased to see them. He was so pleased to receive them upon their arrival. He was eager to meet them because they had appeared there. He was standing up in order to greet them properly. Of course, he was already performed tapasya standing on one leg. Now he just opened his eyes so that he can see them and express his pleasure to three deities. So in that way. Then what else he did? Pranamya dandavadbhumau upattaste harhananjali vrishahamsa suparnastan swai chinnaischa chintitan krupavaloke hasat Vadanenopalambitan tadroshisha pratihate nimilya munirakshini.
Thereafter, he began to offer prayers to the three deities who were seated on different carriers, a bull, a swan, and a garuda, and who held in their hands a drum, pusa grass, and a discus. The sage offered them his respects by falling down like a stick. Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see that the three devas were gracious towards him. His eyes were dazzled by the effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being.
Yeah. All the other different culture of respect, culture of reception, they are shown here. He offered respects by falling on the ground. So first he opened his eyes and looked at them with very much pleasure. Then immediately he fell down, offering full dandavat, and then with articles of worship in his hands, approached three of them. So he collected some articles of worship in order to worship them. So he received them by offering various articles of worship. So who are the three personalities came? How they came? Lord Shiva was seated on the bull, Vrusha. Lord Brahma was seated on his fan, Hamsa. And Lord Vishnu was sitting on the Garuda, Suparna. So that's how the three deities were there. They are coming towards Atri Muni. And here Atri Muni opened his eyes, expressed satisfaction, fell flat, offered dandavat, and collected the worshipable paraphernalia, and with that he is worshipping. So in that way. And the three deities who are seated on their respective vehicles, and they are marked with their insignia. Lord Shiva was holding Trishul. Lord Brahma was holding Kamandalu and water pot. Lord Vishnu was holding Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. The four-handed Vishnu will be holding the four symbols. So something like that. Whom he understood to be his superiors by their glance of mercy and smiling faces. Because of their effulgence, he closed his eyes. So Atri Muni understood that okay, these are all the revered worshipful deities of the entire universe, and immediately received them by offering respects and all other things. And then, but these three personalities are so effulgent, he could not continue to gaze at them for a long time. So his eyes became blinded after some time. Something like that. He held flowers and other items in his hand. With them he is worshipping. Basically, he offered Dhupa, Deepa, Argya, and Pushpa, and then we can say Chamara and Vejana, etc. etc. All those things which are used in our Mangalarti and any Arati offering, something like that we can say. And the four deities have their symbols are trident. Lord Shiva are trident. Lord Brahma was having Kamandulu and part, and Lord Shiva was Lord Vishnu was having Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, etc. Something like that. He recognized them by their glance of mercy, which no other being could have, indicated by their pleased faces. So Atri understood, okay, these are actual three personalities only, not somebody else coming in an imitation form. These are that his elders, like Lord Brahma is his own father, Lord Shiva was his own brother in one sense, Lord Vishnu is his grandfather in one sense. Lord Vishnu, if you see him as the father of Brahma, is like grandfather, something like that. His own elders in that way it is seen. Sorry. Here there are some photos. So there is one Divyadesham in Tiruchi, near Tiruchi, where the Sthala Purana says that okay, here Atri Muni performed austerities and the deity appeared to bless him. Here the blessings are accorded to Atri Muni. That's how they say. This temple is one of the 108 Divyadeshams, and the Pushkarani's photo is here, etc. Basically, the place where he performed austerities may not be exactly here. The place is somewhere else. Riksha mountains, and on the bank of some river was there. No? We have seen some river was there. And that could be somewhere in the Himalayas or somewhere. May not be here, this place. But this is like a replica place where, again, the pastime is manifested here. As a request of the devotee, the Lord remained here, continue to bless the fallen conditions also of this material world.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
All the Divya Desams are replicas only.
Not all the Devadeshams. It depends on the pastime, based on pastime.
No, because there's one more in Trichy, like Markandeya Rishi got liberated there. Karke. There's one more temple like that. So
Hmm.
that's why I asked ki, everything is a replica only.
I mean, if have you gone to that place? Is there the river
Yeah.
which is in the Bhagavatam? The same name river is there?
I don't remember, but Markandeya Rishi, it seems he got liberation there. We went to the temple. That was also
Yeah,
a Divya Desham.
Yeah, of course, Markandeya Muni traveled all over length and breadth of our entire Bharatavarsha here and there. We also hear about Markandeya performing austerities in Jagannath Puri. We have Markandeshwara temple also. That is where he had darshan of Maya, of the Supreme Lord. He had seen the Vatapatrashai.
Vatapatrashai. No, but what I'm asking is most of the Divya Deshams are replicas only then.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm just, this also I'm not sure. I'm just saying
Okay.
that because
Okay.
we heard that he went to the Ruksha mountain and he also went to, I mean, he was performing austerities on the bank of a river, Niravadya river, etc. Taking that
Because even Ahobalam may we say it is a replica only because the actual pastime happened in Multan, Pakistan, right?
which pastime?
Narsinga Dev ka jo pastime hai Prahlad
Narsinga
Narsinga
Dev
Dev ka.
pastime happened not in Multan. It also happened. It happened in heavenly planets.
Okay. Now that's another say because I heard Pakistan mein hua tha wo. That place.
It happened in Swargaloka only.
Okay.
But in that pastime, Garuda was not accompanying Lord Vishnu because Lord Vishnu directly appeared from pillar. He alone was there. Neither Lakshmi was there nor Garuda was there. No one was there along with him in that pastime. So when Garuda heard about that Narsinga Leela, he said, I want to have darshan. ऐसा कैसे छूट जाता? The sages recommended him, please go to Ahobilam area and perform tapasya, Trishala mountains and perform tapasya. So the pastime was revealed to Garuda in that area, in that Ahobilam area.
Oh,
Then
so
Garuda
the
requested Lord.
That Ugrastambha which is there, then it is all replica only.
Everything is revealed to him. It was not actual place, but everything is revealed to him. Then he requested.
Okay.
Same. So this place, I don't know if there is a river and other things are there. We can actually say yes. There is nothing wrong. I don't know Trichy. Near to Trichy, we have this Kaveri river only, na? Trichy,
Yes,
we have
Prabhu. Kaveri is there. Kaveri is there. Yeah.
Kaveri is there. But here in the Bhagavatam verse, we hear that name of the river is Niravadya river and Riksha mountain.
That mountain, which is a mountain.
No, Tiruchi is not a mountain, it is a plain area only. There are no mountains. So I am suspecting that this pastime must have taken place in the greater Himalayas somewhere. But here, by the request of some devotees later on, the entire pastime is revealed. So then Lord manifested his form here in this particular Divedesham. So in that way we can see. Even what to speak of that? Even if you go to Guru Ayur, there also we hear that the 10 prachetas are performed austerities here only. That's how they say. There is one Lord Shiva temple. They say that here Lord Shiva appeared to 10 prachetas and they were given Rudra Gita to the 10 prachetas. It is said like that. But see, many of the places may not be exact. They could be replicas only. They could be somewhere in the greater Himalayas, which we don't have any access. So we have some replicas here so that we can get to hear about those pastimes and get connected to those pastimes and in that way. चेतस्तत् प्रवरणं युञ्जन् अस्तावित् सम्मताञ्जलै श्लक्ष्ण्या सूक्तया वाचा सर्वलोका गरीयसा. That was prayer. We'll take later. Okay, someone read this translation.
Prabhuji, both
But
the
since this part was all
Okay, I will only read. Don't worry. You have so much confusion. Concentrating upon them with folded hands, Atri Muni began to praise with most praiseworthy in all words with verses with sweet words. So how did he pray? Chetas tat pravaranam yunjam, with concentrated mind. Asta with samhatanjalai, with folded hands. Slakshanaya. Slakshanaya means sweet words. Suuktaya. Suuktaya means chosen words, pleasing words. Sarvaloka Girishaya, for the pleasure of the lords of the entire universe. The three deities were there. In order to glorify them, Atri Muni began to offer his prayers. Atrir Uvacha Vishwodhavastitilayeshu Vibhajyamaner Maya Gunairanuyugam Vigrihita Deha Te Brahma Vishnu Girisha Pranatosmyaham vas Tebhya Kaeva Bhavatam Maihopahuta.
Prabhuji, can you show the translation on the screen so that
No, you please read in the book. You can read the complete translation, no problem.
Atri said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, but you have divided yourself into three bodies by accepting the three modes of material nature, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayers.
See, when we read through this translation, it appears very funny for us. He is a so great personality, the son of Lord Brahma. Can't he does not know who are these three, what is their position, etc. Why is he asking such kind of question? Such kind of doubt might come to us. So let's see what is there in the mind of Atri Muni. Atri says, Anuyugam, in every kalpa. Kalpa means one full day of Brahma. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva accept bodies with gunas divided up for creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe. So, it is the responsibility of these three gunavataras to do their respective activities for the entire day of Brahma. Lord Brahma creates at the beginning of his day and he oversees the continuation of the creation till the end of the day. That is his responsibility. And it is the responsibility of Kshirodakshai Vishnu to maintain from the beginning of the Brahma's day all the way up to the end of the Brahma's day. And it is Lord Shiva's responsibility to look. Of course, during the day of the Brahma, he assists Devatas in maintaining the universe. But specifically, at the end of the day of Brahma, he is supposed to annihilate everything that has been created by Brahma, overseen by Vishnu, or maintained by Vishnu. He destroys. So their service lasts for one complete day of Brahma. And it is generally understood that Lord Vishnu takes the mode of goodness and takes care of the maintenance. Lord Brahma accepts the mode of passion, takes care of the creation. Lord Shiva accepts the mode of ignorance, takes care of the annihilation. Because the creation is the service of the mode of passion, creation is the activity of mode of passion, maintenance is the activity of mode of goodness, and destruction is the activity of mode of ignorance. And many places, even in the very first canto, second chapter, it is clearly mentioned that the Lord accepts three forms, which are predominated by three different modes in order to do the respective services, respective activities. So many times it is said that we always hear that Lord Brahma's form is made up of intelligence because he is the creator. Lord Vishnu is the personality of goodness. Lord Shiva is tamasi, he is the personality made up of ignorance. So this is the general custom that we accept these deities. But actually they are not like that. All the three of them are Shuddha Tattva Tanu. Shuddha Sattva Tanu. So their personalities are made up of pure goodness. Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. All three of them are in the pure goodness platform only. But their services, sorry, their services are oriented to particular activity in that particular mode. Destruction is an activity of ignorance. So Lord Shiva takes the shelter of ignorance and destroy the entire universe at the end of the day, Brahma. And creation is the activity of mode of passion. So Lord Brahma accepts the energy of mode of passion and does the creation. And the maintenance is the activity of the mode of goodness. So Lord Vishnu accepts the mode of goodness and perform that service. Just because they are doing that service, we cannot tell them that, oh, Lord Shiva is Tamasi, the ignorant personified. Lord Brahma is a passionate personified. Lord Vishnu is a goodness personified. Not like that. We cannot say like that. See, for example, all of us are rendering some occupation. So while we are performing that occupation, we might be called as engineer, doctor, etc., etc. That is only occupation, that is a service we are rendering, but we are not completely that particular thing. We ourselves has personal existence also. So in that way, we can see the understanding. So here Atri Muni is saying that, okay, you three accept the bodies made up of the three gunas. So Brahma accepted the body of Sapashana, Rajoguna. Vishnu accepted the body of Satvaguna. And Shiva accepted the body of Tamaguna. Because their activities are like that. So the attribution becomes the actual. So this is the problem.
Be a very learned person. How can
See, that's what I'm saying. Here, don't see the Atri Muni directly. Here we have to see the teaching. A person who is focused on Jnana, who is focused on Sahajya Mukti, will think like this only. While working, will you not think as a engineer? If you are a doctor, will you not think yourself as a doctor?
this confusion in Hinduism is from the beginning of time.
It's not confusion, it is natural.
You ask anybody who is greatest, or somebody will say Ganpati, somebody will say Lord Shiva, somebody will say Lord Ram, somebody
Yes,
will
yes.
say Krishna,
That is rasa.
somebody will say Mataji, somebody will say Sai Baba. That is what is called Jamila.
That is rasa.
That's not Rasa Prabhuji.
That is rasa only. Rasa.
It's not Rasa.
Whoever we like, whomsoever we like, we say is the best.
That is wrong. But yeah. That is the same problem here. We have to ask who is the Jagadishwara, then it's problem with that.
That's why Atri Muni's approach is very nice. He does not want to disrespect anyone.
He is also confused. I got one person.
He is not confused. He is acting as a confused. Apne acharati iti sabha shikayala.
See, Kadama performed austerities to please Lord Vishnu and he had darshan of Lord Vishnu. There was no confusion in his mind.
That is his rasa. Kardama is already a devotee. Oh, Bhakti ke is following the path of Bhakti. Here is a teacher of Nishkama Karma Yoga. He is a teacher of Jnana eventually. So he has to act. He cannot act something, he cannot say something else. So we have to see the wholesome picture. He is only enacting the mentality of a Nishkama Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga practitioner.
Before Jnana, he has to ask benedictions from some person. Who is he going to ask benedictions?
He is not interested in person in that sense.
Who is he going to pray to? Nobody.
He will pray to Brahman.
Brahman does not have a form.
But that Brahman is manifesting as these three forms. Na? These are local governance. These are not ultimate authority according to his understanding, according to his consideration.
He is confused.
Actually, to be frank, he is not confused. He is only enacting the mentality of the respective path practitioners.
You are saying that he knows that Lord Vishnu is the school.
Benefit of doubt. Give that benefit of doubt. So, but anyway, we'll see that he's going to express what is there in his heart. He's saying that, okay, my dear sirs, all three of you are manifested for creation, maintenance, and annihilation, accepting the three modes. You are made up of the three modes. And then, whom among you have I called? Will you please tell me? I did not say plural. Jagadishwaras. Jagadishwaraha. If I have said, okay, all the Jagadishwaras, whoever it is, please bless me with a son. I said, oh Jagadishwara, whoever is the Lord of the universe, please bless me. And three of you appeared. I'm really confused. Who among three of you is the Jagadishwara? Can you please reveal? By asking this question, he will establish who is who. If he himself says, okay, my dear Vishnu, you are Jagadishwara, and Brahma and Shiva are your subordinates, does it look good? It will never look good. You see the etiquette. If they say on their own, it is okay. If we say on our own, it is direct disrespect of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Even though Lord Vishnu is greater, but we should never say like that.
If he is going to pray to Jagadishwara, then only Lord Vishnu would have appeared. Now, why would Brahmaji and Lord Shiva come?
That's what I said, na. He did not want to disrespect other deities. There are so many Jagadishwaras.
Brahmaji and Lord Shiva to come.
See, you are not getting, you always think in the terms of Bhakti only. Keep Bhakti aside. He's not teaching Bhakti here. He's teaching Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. From that point of view, think. Say, ISKCON में इतना हो गया. Why this one, why that one? Only Vishnu, only Krishna. Even Vishnu also not. Only Krishna. Not even Rama, not even Vishnu. इतना सुन के हमारा पूरा सॉफ्टवेयर बदल गया. Hare Krishna, are you getting what I am trying to say here?
Not clearly, Prabhuji.
See, there are 2 points. When he prayed that whoever may be the Jagadishwara, please bless me with a son. See, the try to understand. Here, Atri Muni is not an ordinary person, he is the direct son of Brahma. Even though in spite of knowing everything, he is setting a proper code of conduct for the practitioners of Nishkama Karma Yoga. He is the teacher of Nishkama Karma Yoga. For them, he is setting a code of conduct. Nishkama Karma Yogis may not be so much interested in performing Bhakti directly. They may practice Bhakti as a secondary anga, but their main activity as a householder in the Nishkama Karma Yoga is either performing tapasya or performing yajna. In the yajna, the mantras are offered to all the deities. Idam Indraya Swaha, Idam Nama, Idam Chandraya Swaha, Idam Nama. There is no disrespect of any controller of the universe. Everyone is equally revered, everyone is equally worshipped. See the proper code of conduct. If you take one person, other person is disrespected.
All the devas are offered.
Everyone is offered. Same way he is telling that. I don't want to take names. You decide among yourself, you are the controller of the universe and bless me. So then now 3 of them appeared. Now still he is extending the same thing. Now if he identifies one of the 3, it will be offense or it is a aparad for the other 2 on the part of 3. He does not want to make any mistake. He is asking them, so my dear sirs, I was praying for one Ishwara, Jagadishwara, and 3 of you appeared. Can you kindly reveal who is the Jagadishwara among yourself? See the final etiquette of Atri Muni. Apparently, if you see externally, it appears very funny. Hey, can't he understand this much? A simple thing. We as ISKCON person, having heard so many times, we say that, hey, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Can't he understand that? There's long way to go. Long way to go. We have to learn a lot from Atri Muni. See the gentleness and care that he is going through, care that he is taking, not to offend anybody. He is humbly requesting, my dear sirs, can you please tell me who among you 3 is Jagadishwara? And next in one of the verses, we see the etiquette from the point of view of the 3 deities also. That is also one of the more important thing. So we need to understand when we are interacting with others, so how to deal with them, not to offend someone, not to criticize someone, or not to neglect someone. So that kind of final etiquette we can find here. Of course, this is my understanding. I'm trying to see in a positive way, not to find fault with Atri Muni.
No, now we understood, means at least I understood, Prabhuji. It's very clear.
Hare Krishna, others, you're able to follow what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So Atri Muni is trying to say that you three have accepted the bodies for creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the universe. So by the divisions of the gunas in every kalpa. So their service lasts for one kalpa, one entire day of Brahma. I recognize you that you are Vishnu, you are Brahma, and you are Shiva. Thank you for your coming. Thank you for your blessings. So you have accepted the bodies by the material gunas. That is a normal understanding of the Nishkama Karma Yogis and Jnana Yogis, because they are only interested in Brahman, which is Nirguna, without any gunas. Everything that is there in the material world, some way or the other, associated with guna. That is the simple principle of Jnana. This is a statement made out of ignorance concerning the position of Vishnu, since it is impossible for the Supreme Lord to have a body of material sattva. From the teachings of Nishkama Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, everything is material in the material world is made up of three modes of material nature. Everything has a connection with the three modes of material nature. But from the Tattva point of view, though Lord Vishnu comes to this material world, appears in this material world, takes a form and also takes care of the activities in the material world, but he never associates with three modes. He never takes the shelter of three modes. So that one point is external, is specifically pointed out by Srila Prabhupada and other previous acharyas. Of course, in order to teach Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Atri Muni does not get into so many details, because this point is the point of Bhakti Yoga. So in that way, for Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga is Brahman is Nirguna. Any personality in this material world is Saguna. They are the personality made up of three modes of material nature. So that is simple and fair understanding. I offer respects to you, you three of you. By mercy, you should destroy my doubt. Who among you did I call by my sadhana? Atri Muni had indicated one person when he said, I surrender unto the Lord of the universe. In the verse number 20, when he was thinking, so wherein he had said that Sharanam tam prapadyeham yayeva Jagadishwara. I take shelter of that personality who is known as Jagadishwara. And I seek from him the blessing of giving a son who is equal to him. Prajam Atmasamam Mayam. So Provacha iti Chintayan. Keeping that thought in his mind, he was performing tapasya for 100 years. So he's saying that, so my dear Lord, my dear sirs, I was offering my thoughts to have a son who is like the Jagadishwara. So three of you have come. Can you please reveal who among you three Jagadishwara? And he further continues. Eko Mayeha Bhagavan. Eko Maheha Bhagavan Vivida Pradhanais Chitti Krita Prajanaya Prajananaya Katam Nu Yuyam Atragatastanubrutam Manasopi Dhurat Bhuta Prasidata Mahan Iha Vismayo Me.
I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this.
So here he says that I fixed my mind, Maya Chitti Krita, upon the one Lord, Eko Bhagavan. Eko Mayeha Bhagavan Vivida Pradhanais, with articles of worship for creating progeny. So his article of worship is tapasya. By performing tapasya, he was worshipping that Supreme Lord, who is the principal Jagadishwara of the entire universe. So then he says that, then why have you three come here? Katam nu yuyam atragatas. I was only worshipping that one Lord by performing tapasya, and you three have come from far beyond the minds of men. So the existence of you three people is beyond our mental conception. So you people are situated beyond our worldly activities and other things, etc. Please be merciful and tell me, I am filled with bewilderment. So I'm really filled with bewilderment. Please, can you please tell me who among three I prayed for? That means who fits in the concept of Jagadishwara? Can you please reveal that to me? So apparently we may see, so Atri Muni does not know that much also. But Atri Muni, by making this inquiry, you want to make the entire world clear with the position of the three deities. So like that we can see. This is the greatness of Atri Muni. By asking a suitable inquiry, establishing the position of all the deities. So in that way, instead of he himself giving a judgment, he is requesting the judges to give the judgment. So in that way, they remained silent. After hearing the first verse, they did not respond. There they said that I prayed for one person and three of you, whom among you three I prayed for. But then he said that he continued now. So thus he clarified the statement. I have fixed one person in my mind with various articles of worship for creating progeny. Why have three of you appeared? So it's like that. It's a simple query. Externally seems to be very funny, but if you go into it, it is actually a gentleman's culture. Externally we may see he's so ignorant, but he's not ignorant. In spite of having complete knowledge, he does not want to commit any offense against the three of them. We see in the purport, Prabhupada again says in the previous purport, Prabhupada actually criticized, and in this purport he actually glorifies. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, in one purport, first chapter, in one purport he glorifies Arjuna, in another purport he criticizes Arjuna, chastises Arjuna. So it's like that. The mood of Acharyas, it goes like that. Now let us see. What was the answer from the three deities? Maitreya uvacha iti tasya vacha shrutva tastasya vibudashraya vibudarshabha pratyaho slakshanaya vacha prahasya tam rushim prabho.
The great sage Maitreya continued, upon hearing Atri Muni speak in that way, the three great deities smiled and they replied in the following sweet words.
Yeah. Maitreya says, "O Vidura, hearing these words, the three chiefs of the Devatas, smiling, replied to the sage with the sweet words. Deva uchu yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyam tenaiva nanyatha satsankalpasya te brahman yadvai dhyayati te vayam."
The three deities told Atri Muni, Dear Brahmana, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating, and therefore we have all come to you.
So in the previous verses, we have seen the culture of respect from the Atri point of view, from the guest receiver's point of view. And now we see this verse, the culture of respect from the host point of view. Okay, previously it was from the host point of view, now it is from the guest point of view. So when 3-4 guests come, so how they supposed to deal with each of them? So that is established in this couple of verses by the three deities. The three devatas are saying, what they are saying, "Oh Brahmana, since your wish cannot be unfulfilled because you are taken up on severe austerities, so your desire must be fulfilled. As you wished that you wanted to have a son who is similar to the Jagadishwara, it will come to pass. Don't worry, it will come to pass. and it cannot be otherwise. And now your doubt was that who among the three of us you called? And then the deity said that we are that person upon whom you meditated. They are not saying that I am the original Jagadishwara and these two are my subordinates. None of the three are saying that. All the three are saying that we three are the same Jagadishwara whom you called upon. None of the three are showing themselves superior and others inferior.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Guruji, I understood your point. You're talking about the guest culture, but like among Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Vishnu may not say that yes, I am superior. That is the guest culture, as you mentioned. But Brahmaji and Shivji, they know that Vishnu is our Lord. So at least they could have accepted now that he is the Lord. Actually, we are like.
See,
That is also the
again,
part of culture, right?
again you are making a mistake. You are speaking like a devotee. Don't speak like a practitioner of bhakti. Speak like the practitioner of Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Who is my Atri Muni here? Atri Muni, the teacher of Nishkama Karma Yoga, is not a teacher of bhakti.
So all Nishkam Karma yogis will have this concept that Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh all are at an equal level and they are the Jagadishwaras.
They don't say that they three are equal level. They say that they are three at superior level. They are much, much superior than my conception, my understanding level.
Okay.
Is there any difference between these three, these two? Saying that these three are equal level, they saying these three are superior level.
Yeah, there is a difference.
That says that I don't know how much superior they are. One person may be 1000% superior, another person may be 10,000% superior, other person may be 100,000 superior. I don't know. That is beyond my understanding, beyond my gauging. They are superior. That's all. How much superior? Infinitely superior. This is cultural respect. Saying that three are same, that is like a judgmental mentality. So it is like that.
This is quite confusing, but Prabhuji, like
Not confusing. It is quite simple. We always want everything black and white. So that is the problem with us. हमारा problem यही होता है इधर. Whenever we speak to some other sampradayas, we always want to show our superiority. Krishna is superior. Vishnu is not superior. अभी होने दो ना, कृष्णा सुपीरियर विष्णु सुपीरियर, क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है? What is the problem?
how can
इतना superior we cannot gauge how much superior they are. Then when we are dealing with 1 rupee, 2 rupee, about 1 crore is superior to 2 crores. We never saw it, we never have it. And what is the point in speaking about 1 crore, 2 crores? Let them be 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore. But for us, 1 crore, 3 crore is beyond our imagination.
it is not for judgmental attitude, but it is also always said that I have heard in many teachers also say that if means those who want to worship Krishna, if they worship even Lakshmi Narayan, their rasa will change and ultimately their destination will change. So there the difference comes. And that
Now
is
I will
why
give you, I understood your point. Now I'll give you another argument. Just because you want to worship Krishna, you want to show Lakshmana less and Krishna superior, so that, okay, I am worshipping the topmost personality of Godhead. There is no one less than him. Sir, there is no one superior to him.
Means again you are saying the same thing, Prabhuji. It is not a question of judgment who is superior and who is inferior. It is just why the devotees talk about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna only because their rasa is that, and that is where their means they want particular destination, and they want to worship the Lord. Say, let's put it as a Lord and not as Krishna. They want to worship the Lord in particular rasa, and those thing or those practices which will help to enhance that rasa, they will take up that thing. And that is why we talk always about Krishna. And it is not that we consider Vishnu as less or Narayan as less. It is not that. But it is the only the point, from the point of view of rasa we differentiate. Means it is
No, I'm not talking about maybe some of you who don't get into it, but in general, our ISKCON devotees get into that argument always. You may not, but I'm not talking about you or me. In general, I'm saying, in general, whenever an ISKCON devotee talks, they say Krishna is superior.
yeah.
Will they not?
Yeah, and it also happens that there is a kind of disrespect towards other demigods, which is also means how we see like how Atri Muni is giving respect to all and how he's teaching us by his example. But we see that many a times there is a kind of disrespect toward other demigods, whereas as you said, we don't come anywhere near. हम लोग 1 रुपया 2 रुपया गिन रहे तो करोड़ रुपए की क्या बात करेंगे? But still it happens unknowingly. Why?
And many times we always hear that the devatas are all mixed devotees with ulterior motives, and Indra always commits mistakes, and he can't even understand who is Krishna, and he provided rain for 7 days and 7 nights continuously, etc. etc. Who are we? Talk about them. Where are they and where are we?
Yeah, true, Prabhuji.
So
It's easy to talk.
it's like that. So I'm not trying to offend anybody, because we are in close community, and I'm just trying to present some different perspective to these verses. So in that way, see, from the point of view 3 deities, see, don't see them as they are, and don't see them from the bhakti point of view. But who are these 3? These 3 are gunavataras. Gunavatara means avatara only. So they are empowered personalities. I mean, they are all none other than an expansion of Lord Vishnu himself, the 3 Gunavataras. So if the 3 of them are expansion of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, it is very simple. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, there appears Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel, there appeared the lotus, and then there appeared Brahma. And previously, from Mahavishnu's glance, there appeared Kala, that Kala expanded as Sadashiva, and that Sadashiva again appears from the Burkuti of Lord Brahma. So they are all same Vishnu only, in one sense. They are not different from Vishnu. So what's wrong in saying we are all same? Is Lord Shiva is different from Vishnu?
Yes.
How? So
Prabhuji,
one second. Prabhuji is saying that here all three, these 3 appeared from Lord Vishnu. How can you say they are same? So now for that point, I say that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu appeared from Mahavishnu. Sadashiva also appeared from Mahavishnu. Are they same or different?
Just because you appear from that perspective, make you that same person.
Is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Karnakshaya Vishnu same or different?
Vishnu Tattva, then Vishnu.
different.
Who is Jiva Tattva?
Shiva.
Who said he is Jiva Tattva?
Is the Mahatma.
Either Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva. Kindly do not make that mistake.
Is also Jiva Tattva.
Lord Brahma is a Jiva Tattva, not Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is never a Jiva Tattva. Who told? Please, if somebody told you, please remove that. Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva.
But Prabhuji, how we see this point, what you are saying, means how Atri Muni is viewing in perspective of second offense towards the holy name.
See, that is a problem. Don't see devote, don't bring bhakti into picture. Just see from the point of view of universal management. What is the seva of the 3 deities from the point of view of the universe?
So creation, maintenance, destruction.
Seva point of view do. Who will do it? Who are qualified to do it? Who have that authority to do it? Who have that energy, potency to do it? No Jiva can have that much potency. Only Lord Vishnu can do it. So in order to do 3 different services, Lord Vishnu himself expands as 3 deities. So he himself expanded as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. He himself expanded as Brahma. He himself expanded as Shiva to do 3 different services. He's the same person, but in different forms. And hence they are called as Gunavataras, because they are performing the service of 3 different gunas. Simple.
Okay.
They don't have any problem to say they are same. Why do we have problem to say they are not same? They are same.
No, but Prabhuji, as a being a devotee, when to apply devotee understanding and when to apply Nishkam Karma Yogi's understanding, that becomes difficult. Like
See,
if
there
we
is,
say
there,
that
there is no difference between devotee understanding and Nishkama Karma Yoga understanding. The understanding is same only. For example, I will tell you what kind of respect we show to our spiritual master.
highest respect, I think we give to.
We are supposed to worship him on par with the Supreme Lord. At least theoretically it
Yeah.
is there. Practically we may do, we may not do, but it is like that. So from our point of view, we should not see the distinction between the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master.
Yes.
Even though they are not same, but we see them that same.
Yeah.
We are supposed to see them the same.
Yes.
So it is like that.
Okay.
But spiritual master, from his point of view, he sees himself and his disciple same. He does not see himself as superior to his disciple, and he does not see himself equal to the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
For him, he is also a practicing devotee, and his disciple is also a practicing devotee.
Yes.
So this is the culture of respect.
Okay. Understood, Prabhuji.
Here, I am not trying to minimize in any sense. See, the perspective you see, devotee means personal service and rasa is involved. Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, it is oriented towards Sahyajya Mukti. Rasa involvement is very less there. The personal aspects involvement is very less there. There, the service comes forefront. From the service point of view, three of them are taking responsibility of three important services of the maintenance of the universe, taking care of the universe, creation, maintenance, and annihilation. But when it comes to Bhakti point of view, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva say that we are devotees of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu says that I am the devotee of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu says that I am the devotee of Karmadakshaya Vishnu. Karmadakshaya Vishnu says that I am the devotee of Sankarshana. Sankarshana says that I am the devotee of Balramji. And Balramji says that I am devotee of Krishna. So it goes into gradation. That is rasa. So both are different.
Shiva is the plenary portion of the Lord.
Ah.
Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being.
He is not Jiva. He is not Jiva Tattva. So it's like
Brahma is a Jiva Tattva. Brahma is always a Jiva Tattva.
But here I am not treating Brahma as a Jiva Tattva. I am saying he is a Gunavatara here. See him as a Gunavatara. Don't see him as a Jiva Tattva. These three are three Gunavataras. So the Gunavataras, they are same. Three of them are having three important functions of the universe.
Qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva of the different modes of 1, 3, 5.
It's okay. So it is like that. I'm just trying to see in this perspective that see the cultural aspect in the guest and also in the host. But in the current scenario, we are always want to show off yourself as great. Otherwise, our acquaintances are great. So that is the problem we go through generally. In the cultural aspect, who is great, who is less is not important. Respecting everyone with utmost respect is important. He is not treating someone low as ordinary as low, someone bigger as low. Like once, this actually, it is connected to Bhaktivedanta Hospital. During the inauguration of Bhaktivedanta Hospital, so it happened that, I mean, two examples, one from Prabhupada, one from Maharaj also. So the announcements, the speaker, the MC was saying that, okay, all the normal guests come in the right side queue. All the VIP guests come in the left side queue, something like that. So he was keep saying that. Then Maharaj quietly went behind him and touched him, tapped him. And when the devotee turned around, he said that there are no VIP guests, there are no ordinary guests. Guest is guest. Don't discriminate that somebody is VIP guest, somebody is ordinary guest. So when somebody comes to temple, everyone is a guest of Srila Prabhupada. We should respect them with equal respect. We should not. Outside they may be bigger one, big people. But when they come to temple, everyone should be given great respect. So this is from Maharaj's point of view. And in Prabhupada's point of view, there is one more example. When Prabhupada was traveling to some place in the airport, Prabhupada sat in in the sitting area, and many devotees were also sitting adjacent to Prabhupada, but they were making a lot of noise. So the MC, the main coordinator, thought that Prabhupada is getting disturbed by a lot of people speaking so many things. Then he requested that. So I request all the devotees to move little left side. So devotees started moving toward left side. Prabhupada also got up and started moving to left side. Then he said that, my dear Prabhupada, not you. I am asking them. Then Prabhupada said, am I not a devotee? That I can't move? So it is like that. So it is a fine thing. I mean, apparently seems to be why so. It is normal. We want to treat people according to their stature, etc., etc. But when you see from the top down, it everything changes. So
among these three, also they also think that there is no competition among all three of us.
उनका कुछ problem नहीं. They are all happy.
They are not fighting for position.
They are not interested in position, etc. Here and there. They are serving. In fact, they are actually serving all of us harmoniously. They don't have any problem, but we have problems. So something like that. So they are saying that we are the Lord of the universe upon whom you meditated. We are the givers of boons to you, whose desires are always fulfilled. So we are here to award your boons. We are here to fulfill all your boons. The meaning is this: you desired that you should have one son equal to the Lord of the universe. Having a doubt as to who was the Lord of the universe, you meditated on all three of us, and then decided on one form, thinking, among the three, let the real Lord come. The three of us, having three powers in the universe, the power of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, have come here. Though we are in three forms, we are all one. Here they are saying from the point of view of Gunavataras. We three are Gunavataras of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. We three appeared from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So we three are same. We three have three different responsibilities for the universe. We three are the Ishwaras of the universe, Jagadishwaras. So then they say that they go into a little bit of grammar. They say that you should not have used the words the Supreme Lord, Sharanam Tam Prapadbyeham, Yo Eva Jagadishwara. So your wording was little improper. If you wanted only one person, so you should have told that I want to have the blessings of that Jagadishwara who is doing the service of creation, who is doing the service of maintenance, who is doing the service of annihilation. You should have added some attribute to it, specific seva related attribute. You stopped there. You kept it in ambiguous state. So we three of us came. Yeah. Something like that. It is similar to the utterance in 6th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 11, where Tashta was performing a tapasya, not tapasya, yajna, in order to create a son who would kill Indra, where he said that Indra Shatru Vivardasva. So here it said that, O enemy of Indra, increase in power. So here you see, this word has two. This one has two words, Indra, Shatru. So in the two words, whichever you pronounce for longer time, that becomes prominent. Indra Shatru is supposed to pronounce Indra Shatru. Indra Shatru means the Shatru becomes prominent. The enemy of Indra should be born and should become more powerful so that he can kill Indra. That was supposed to be said. But instead, he said, this statement can also mean the opposite. Oh Indra, oh enemy, increase in power, increase the strength of Indra, the enemy. Indra Shatru Vivardasva. When you say Indra Shatru, Indra is prominent. So, oh Indra, who will be the enemy of my son, may you increase. Ulta ho gaya. So, while chanting that mantra, instead of chanting Indra Shatru, he chanted Indra Shatru. So, this is some grammar. So, that's why that happened. Something similar here also. They are telling that you have used Sharanam Tam Prapadyeham. Eva Jagadishvara. You should have added one attribute to it. So that you forgot. That's why we three have come. Because we three are Jagadishwaras. We three are responsible for the universe. From such a desire and to show the strength of your sadhana, you will get a result according to your sadhana and according to your desire. So this is how the three deities reconciled the matter. Okay, is it clear? Sorry for going into too much the details. So I just thought let's because otherwise people in general when they discuss they criticize Maitreya, they criticize Aitri Muni. Hey, can't he have this much also? Can't he does not have this much knowledge? So person Brahmasan like that we make so many judgments. But see the culture of respect among themselves. It is very difficult to put into practice, but at least let us see it and appreciate.
They are not fighting for competition. That I am the Jagadishwaras, unlike us. They want to prove that I am superior.
Our kanme, we want to show off ourselves superior to others, and we want to show our acquaintances are superior to others. This is always not only God, even friends, relatives, anybody, our known to people, anyone in general. So this is like very much is ingrained within our, we can say, blood.
So what to do if there is, you see, outside there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are Buddhists, there are some are atheists.
Huh?
Let them be what they are doing.
How a Uttama Bhakta behaves. Uttamadhikari, how does he behave?
God, but what about the others who are fighting fights in the name of religion?
That is the nature of this material world. We can't do much. So we need to follow in their footsteps. Mahajano yen gatasya panta. Do we want to follow them or do we want to follow the Mahajanas like here, Atri Muni and the three deities? What kind of standard they are setting here?
What we should do?
Hare Krishna, is it clear? Am I confused?
Yes. No, yes, Prabhuji, very nicely you have explained. Really, thank you so much.
Okay, now continuation. Atasmad amsha bhutaste atmajaloka vishruta bhavitarong badram te visrapsanti chate yasha.
You will have sons who will represent a partial manifestation of our potency. And because we desire all good fortune for you, those sons will glorify your reputation throughout the world.
Yeah, they are telling that our portions will be born as your sons. Because you wanted the son of Jagadishwara. We three are Jagadishwaras. So from we three, the three children will be born to you, who are famous in the world. Good fortune to you. Your fame will spread everywhere. Your fame as the father of the three deities, the three principal deities will spread all over the universe. In order to show that Vishnu is actually the supreme lord among, the Vishnu became Dattatreya, an avatara, not the other two. From the result, we can establish who is superior among the three. The Soma and who was the other name? Of course, they come. Durvasa and Dattatreya. Dattatreya is worshipped all over as incarnation of Vishnu in Avatara, a Leela Avatara, glorified as the Avatara. So that is establishes the superlative position of Vishnu. Even though those three may not say who is superior among them, but result will falena parachayate. So in that way. Evam kamavaram dattva prati jagmu sureshwara sabhajitastayo samyug dampatyayor mitaso tata.
You will have sons who will represent a partial manifestation of our potency.
Mataji,
And
next
because-
verse. Next verse.
I'm sorry, is it 32?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Thus, thus, while the couple looked on, the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, disappeared from that place after bestowing upon Atri Muni the benediction.
Yeah. While Atri and his wife were watching, the lords of the Devatas, after being worshipped and giving benedictions, departed. Somo Bhut Brahmano Amshena Dattvo Vishnustu Yogavet Durvasa Durvasa Shankarasyamsho Nibodangira Praja.
Thereafter, from the partial representation of Brahma, the moon god was born of them. From the partial representation of Vishnu, the great mystic Dattatreya was born. And from the partial representation of Shankara, that is Lord Shiva, Durvasa was born. Now you may hear from me of the many sons of Angira.
Yeah. From Brahma, Soma appeared. From Lord Vishnu, Dattatreya appeared. From Lord Shiva, there appeared Durvasa, who is the knower of Yogi. And now understand the descendants of Angira. So two are completed, Kala and Anasuya. Now the third daughter of Devahuti is being described in the next verse. Shraddha tu Angira Sapaten Chatasro Sutakanyaya Sinivali Kuhuraka Chaturthi Anumatistata. Angira's wife Shraddha gave birth to four daughters named Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anmati. The third daughter Shraddha married Angira Rishi, and she gave birth to four daughters named Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anumati. Tat Putrao Aparao Astam Kyato Sa Swaro Chisentare Utayo Bhagavan Sakshad Brahmishtascha Brihaspati.
Besides these four daughters, she also had another two sons. One of them was known as Uttaya, and the other was the learned scholar Brihaspati.
Yeah. So then, beside these four daughters, she also gave birth to two sons. One of them known as Uttaya, who is the direct expansion of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavan Sakshad. He is the expansion of the Supreme Lord. And the other was the knower of Brahman. So it is like Brahmishta. Previously we read that Atri Muni was Brahmavit, and here Brihaspati is also knower of Brahman. But basically he is also teacher of Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So they are the knowers of Brahma, teachers of the path that awards one Brahman. So in that way. So Brihaspati. More details about Uttaya and Brihaspati will come in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam. Who are they? What are their activities? Of course, Brihaspati we know. Brihaspati is the spiritual master of all the Devatas. He is there. And Uttaya is his brother. Pulasyo Janayat Patnyam Agastyam Cha Havirbhuvi. So Anya Janmani Daragnir Vishravascha Mahatapa.
Pulasteyo begot in his wife. Mataji, you continue. Sorry, I have a bad throat.
Pulatsya begot in his wife Havibru one son of the name Agastya, who in his next birth became Dharagni. Besides him, Pulatsya begot another very great and saintly son whose name was Vishrava.
Pulasya begot in his wife Havirbu. She is another daughter of Kardama and Devahuti. The one son named Agastya. Agastya Rishi is very famous. Tirupati we have his temple also. Many places he traveled everywhere. And in another birth, Agastya was born as Daragni, the Jataragni. Daragni means Dara. Daragni means the fire inside the stomach or inside the earth in that way. So then Pulasya begot another son whose name was Vishrava, endowed with great austerity. So in that way, Pulasya had two sons. Havirbu became the wife of Pulasya. In another birth, Agastya was the highest to fire. Another son of Pulasya was Vishrava. Tasya Yakshapater Kuberastu Idavidasuta Ravana Kumbhakarnascha Tatanyasyam Vibhishana.
Vishrava had two wives. The first, you were saying something.
No, please carry on.
The Vishrava had two wives. The first wife was Idavida, from whom Kuvera, the master of all yakshas, were born. And the next wife was named Keshini, from whom three sons were born, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana.
So Vishrava first married a Brahmani lady whose name was Idavida. Through her, he begot a son known as Kuvera, who became the in charge of the wealth of the Devatas. He is also the controller of all the Yakshas. He is called Yakshapati. So he is the leader of all the Yakshas. And seeing that Vishrava's great power and principles, etc. So Asuras, Matali, I think some Ramayan more details are there. He tells his sister, you please go and serve him as a maid servant. So Keshini goes and serves him as a maid servant. Eventually, Vishrava becomes very happy with her service. Then he says that, what blessing you want from me? Then she says that I want to beget children through you. So eventually he married her, and she begot 3 sons and 1 daughter. Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana, and Shurpanaka. So see, she herself is from the Rakshasa category. So though she begot children from the great sage Vishrava, but her approach and her mentality were entirely of in the negative side. Her children were also negative. Ravana, Kumbhakarna, of course, Vibhishana is a good person. At least Vibhishana, we can see that he is representing the qualities of the father. But Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Surpanaka were representing the qualities of the mother only. So,
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
yes, Mataji.
Whose sister was Keshini?
I don't remember the names. M से चालू होता है उनका नाम.
Okay. But it was a demon's daughter. Rakshasa daughter.
Category of Rakshasas.
Okay.
They were eventually became the ministers of Ravana.
Okay.
Because from the very beginning they only instigate. Eventually they only tell Ravana that, so my dear Ravana, you see your half brother is having Lanka, golden city, and he's having Pushpaka Vimana. He is worshipped by all the Yakshas. He's given the post among all the Devatas. What is this? You are poor fellow. What is this? Then Ravana went and defeated him and took away that Lanka city, took away the Pushpaka Vimana, everything.
Yeah, Pushpaka Vimana
originally belongs to Kuvera.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
In that way.
Prabhuji, one more doubt was there, that this Kuvera is a yaksha, na?
Yeah, Kuvera is the leader of Yakshas.
So, means the mother of Kuvera was also like something like Keshini. She was also from the yaksha category. Like how?
No. See, not like that. Kuvera is not Yaksha. He became the leader of Yakshas. He is the son of 2 Brahmanas. Vishrava is a Brahmana and Idavida is also a Brahmani.
Okay, so Kuvera is also Brahmana, but he became the master of yakshas, like that.
He has given that responsibility of taking care of wealth. The wealth is guarded by the Yakshas. Yakshas are all his servants, his soldiers, the night keepers.
Okay. Because
they
I was
over the wealth of the Devatas.
Okay. Because in Brahma's creation, that 8 things we saw in that, one of the thing was yakshas and rakshasas. No? So I was confused at how from 2 brahmanas, 1 yaksha was born. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, one more question. Brihaspati was the spiritual master of the demigods, right?
Yes.
But he was this thing of mystic yoga. We just now read.
See.
Yeah, but how do we?
See, they are all the rishis. Whoever rishis we see in our entire universe, everyone is the teacher of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Because they are all householders, it is their prerogative to teach Nishkama Karma Yoga, which will take them to Jnana, Ashtanga, or Bhakti, etc. The 4 Kumaras are teaching Jnana, Ashtanga. It is Narada Muni's prerogative to teach Bhakti Yoga, or the great Mahajanas. who will teach Bhakti Yoga. The primary teaching start by all these great sages, especially like Brihaspati, Nishkama Karma Yoga.
He is teaching to the demigods Nishkama Karma Yoga. When you
No.
say he is a spiritual master of the demigods Devi Devatas, that means he is teaching them Nishkama Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga.
Nishkama Karma Yoga along with Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
What's problem with Nishkama Karma Yoga?
No, I'm not saying about the problem. What I'm saying is, the demigods ke liye, you said we know that he is a spiritual master of the demigods. So if you say spiritual master, obviously they learn, the Devi Devatas, they learn something, because of that only he's been put in the post of a spiritual master there. So I was wondering, does he teach them Jnana and Nishkama Karma Yoga? Nothing wrong with Nishkama Karma Yoga. It is much better than what we have.
No, I'll tell you. Don't see like that. They're all wonderful devotees. Why Nishkama Karma Yoga? Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. If all the devatas simply sit and continue to do Sankirtan, will the universe is maintained?
No.
Maintenance means there should be some management.
Yeah, right.
The management means some activity. Activity should be done in the mentality of Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Okay.
This thing I mentioned many times in our teachings of Lord Kapila. Householders are supposed to perform Nishkama Karma Yoga. Performing household duties is called Nishkama Karma Yoga. Basically, it is called Karma Yoga. The mentality gives the adjective Nishkama Karma. That's why we said that many times. We said that whatever Bhakti we are doing, it is called Karma Mishra Bhakti. We as brahmacharis, we are practicing Bhakti along with the duties of brahmachari ashram. All of you are grihasthas practicing Bhakti along with the duties of grihastha ashram. So that is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. Sorry, Karma Mishra Bhakti. That karma should be done in the mentality of Nishkama Karma.
Yeah, but then Indra, many times we see Indra getting swayed away by that result, isn't it? He's always afraid that somebody will take his throne, somebody will come and take away
Wait. How many mistakes he has done?
He has done 2, 3, you'll say many years, period of many times he has done 1 or 2 mistakes. Okay, understand that. Okay.
We should understand like that only.
Yeah.
In the long duration of half the Manvantara period, he has done 4 or 5 mistakes.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Within 40-50 years of ours in this lifespan, how many mistakes we have done?
Yeah. Sorry, conditioning. So, apne taraf mein we start. At least I start thinking at my level.
See, that's what I'm saying from the very beginning. We always want to make everything black and white. We want to become the judges of others' activities. That mistake we should not do.
Yeah. We need a teacher like you to keep pondering on hitting on us, hammering on us like this again and again.
So how we should see these pastimes is that even a personality in that great position also can do mistake like this. Then how much careful we should be. That should be the lesson brought out from these pastimes. Instead of saying that
yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah.
Indra is materially attached, he is materially possessive.
No, I'm not blaming him. No, I'm not blaming him. What this thing was, since the spiritual master was teaching him Nishkama Karma Yoga, but many times we see that he did not practice it karke. That I'm not blaming him or something like that. We're all conditioned. At least I'm conditioned more worse than
See, try not to go in the personal. We are discussing Krishna Katha. We are discussing Shastra. So I request any one of you, don't get into personal this thing. Don't get into too much humility. Showing humility can happen in the dealings.
No. It's not humility. No, not humility.
I'm not only saying you or anybody in the class also. When we discuss, it should be done in the normal platform. It should not be in the humility platform. That should be reflected in our dealings. Here, when we are discussing Shastra, it is in the neutral platform. It is nothing pointing out anybody. So you are saying that, okay, who am I? That kind of statement should not come.
Who am I? I know I'm, we have done so many mistakes. I know I'm not supposed to point out Indra's mistake, but I was just thinking, Brihaspati is a spiritual master and he's teaching them Nishkama Karma Yoga. So I was thinking from that angle, nothing like that.
He need to do his duty. One Manvantara has to maintain the entire universe. So there should be a teacher who should be teaching how to do it. That is by natural. So that's why they have a spiritual master. And that is not ending there. That is to perform his duties. But by the way, he is a devotee. He will practice bhakti also.
Hmm. Okay, Prabhuji.
So it is like that. So it is not that, okay, since because Brahaspati is teaching Nishkama Karma Yoga, is a Nishkama Karma Yoga, not like that. As a person, is a devotee. As a professional teacher, is a Nishkama Karma Yoga teacher. It is seva in the mission of the Supreme Lord. So personally, each and every
Yes,
person is
Prabhu.
devotee, but they have their respect to seva.
Yes. Okay.
In order to maintain the universe, we are offered a facility to fulfill our desires and to go back to Godhead. If they are not in the proper Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, if they are not giving us rain, sunlight, moonlight, etc., how can we fulfill our desires and how can we go back to Godhead? And for them to do, they need a motivator regularly. So Brahaspati is doing that service.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Personality development terminology. Motivator. Something like that. So we should see why I'm trying to say this thing, because somehow or other I have this inclination towards my cosmology and this thing, etc. So I try to see from that aspect. Otherwise, we always see through the glance of the bhakti.
Yeah.
These are
Correct. No, you're
karmisha,
perfect. You're right. You're right.
it's not like that. Everyone personally, they are devotees, great devotees.
Yeah.
But services we should see. What services they are.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, we have seen this. Pulasya gatir bharya trin asuta sati sutan karmashreshtam variyamsham sahishnum cha mahamate.
Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to 3 sons named Karmasreshta, Variyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages.
So then, Gati, the wife of Pulaha is another son of Brahma. Gati is another daughter of Devahuti and Kardama. They gave birth to 3 pure sons named Karmashreshta, Variyan, Sahishnu. See their names. Karmashreshta, who is the best among the performers of Karma Yoga. Variyan, best among all. Sahishnu, the best tolerant person. Sahishnuta, something like that. So all wonderful personalities are born to him. Kratorapi kriya bharya Valakilyan asuyata Rishin Sheshti Sasrani Jvalanto Brahma Tejasa. Quick.
Kritu's wife Kriya gave birth to 60,000 great sages named the Valakyas. All these sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge and their bodies were illuminated by such knowledge.
Kratu married Kriya and gave birth to 60,000 sages who are known as Valakilyas, who are brilliant with spiritual knowledge. Jwalato Brahma Tejasa. These 60,000 sages are also like brahmacharis, like 4 Kumaras. Their size is like the thumb size. 5th canto says that they are the size of thumb. The small Angushta Matra Mamalam, something like that. So their service is to stand in front of sun and offer the glorification of the praise of Surya Narayana, who is a Amshavatara, so that the sun god will perform his seva with enthusiasm, etc. Urjayam Jajnire Putra Vasishtasya Parantapa Chitraketu Pradanaste Sapta Brahmarshayo Mala.
The great sage Vashistha begot in his wife Urja, sometimes called Arundhati, 7 spotlessly great sages headed by the sage named Chitraketu.
Yeah. So Vasishta married Urja, who is also called as Arundhati, and she gave birth to 7 sons headed by Chitraketu. The 7 names are mentioned in the next verse. Chitraketu Surochischa Viraja Mitra Evacha, Ulbano Vasu Burdyanyo, Dyuman Shakti Adayo Pare.
The names of these 7 sages are as follows: Chitraketu, Surochi, Viraja, Mitra, Ulbana, Vasubhradnya, Dyuman, and Dyuman. Some other are very competent sons were born from Vasishtha's other wife.
So through Urja, he begot these 7 sons headed by Chitraketu, Surochi, etc. Through another wife, he begot Shakti. Shakti was also the son of Vasishtha through another wife. Shakti's son was Parashara. Parashara's son was Krishna Devapayana Vyasa. His son was Sukadeva Goswami. So they all come from the line of Vasishtha.
Prabhuji, this Chitraketu is different. It doesn't have any connection with that Chitraketu Maharaj.
And no, these are all personalities born during Swayambhu Manvantara. Chitraketu
Okay.
Maharaj was the recent personality during Chakshusha and 7th Manvantara.
Okay.
And these are all Brahmanas, these are not Kshatriyas.
हाँ, लेकिन कभी-कभी वो आगे जाके कुछ चेंज कर देते वगैरह.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं. The name can be multiple people have. It's not that.
Okay.
Chittistu atarvana patni lebe putram dhrutavratam tadyancham ashvashirasam brugorvamsham nibodame.
Chitti, wife of sage Atharva, gave birth to a son named Ashvashira by accepting a great vow called Dadhyancha. Now you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Bhrigu.
Yeah. Chitti married Atharva Rishi and gave birth to a son named as Dadhyancha, who is firm in vows, having a horse head. Tadhyancha Ruchi as head, that of horse-like head. He is the speaker of Ayashirsha mantras. There is some scripture called as Ayashirsha. So that is spoken by Dadhyancha Rishi. So firm in vows, having a horse head. Now you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Bhrigu. Actually, sometimes it appears that the Dadhyancha Muni is non-different from Dadichi. We hear about Dadichi in 8th canto or 6th canto. So in order to get that Vajra, Indra approaches him in order to kill Vritrasura. So the Dadhyancha and Dadichi might be same. Bhrbhukyatam Mahabhaga Patnyam Putram Ajijanat Dhataram Cha Vidataram Sriyam Cha Bhagavat Param.
The sage
Prabhuji,
Bhrigu,
but Atri, sorry.
the sage Bhrigu was highly fortunate. In his wife known as Khyati, he begot 2 sons named Dhata and Vidata, and 1 daughter named Shri, who was very much devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Bhrigu married Khyati, had 2 sons, Data and Vidata, and 1 daughter named Sri, who was completely devoted to Lord Vishnu. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Dadichi Muni comes in the lineage of Atri Muni, no?
He comes in the lineage of Atri Muni?
Yeah.
Okay, ho sakta hai. I mean, I am just doubtful. Dadhyancha and Dadi seems to be
No,
very close.
I remember there when reading that he comes in the lineage of Atri Muni.
Ho sakta hai. I don't remember exactly. It seems to be same. So because even Dadichi Muni was also given the horse head.
Yeah. Ashwini Kumara's when he had to tell them that
in order to hear that Sanjivani mantra.
Yeah.
So that from that point of view, I have seen that. Ayatim niyatim chaiva sute meru tayoradat tabhyam tayor abhavatam mrukanda prana evacha.
The sage Meru had 2 daughters named Ayati and Niyati, whom he gave in charity to Dhata and Vidhata. Ayati and Niyati gave birth to 2 sons, Markanda and Prana.
So Bhrigu had 2 sons through Khyati, known as Data Vidata. These 2 married to 2 daughters of Mount Meru, known as Ayati and Niyati, and they gave birth to 2 sons, Mrukanda and Prana. Mrukandasya Pranadveda Shiramuni Kavischa Bhargavo Yasya Bhagavan Ushana Suta.
From Markandeya Muni was born, and from Prana, the sage Vedashira, whose son was Ushana, that is Shukracharya, also known as Kavi. Thus, Kavi also belonged to the descendants of the Bhrigu dynasty.
Yeah. From Mrukanda, a son was born known as Markandeya Muni. This Markandeya is the same Markandeya who was very much famous, who lived for a long time because he was born with less small lifetime. He worshipped Lord Shiva and eventually was protected by Lord Shiva and given long lifespan. The same Markandeya Rishi. And from Prana, the sage Vedashira, whose son was Ushana, Shukracharya. So Shukracharya is the grandson of Bhrigu Muni. That's why Shukracharya is said to be the descendant of Bhrigu. So not only Shukracharya and all the other descendants of Bhrigu Muni, they all reside in the Shukra Graha, Venus. The Venus planet is occupied by all the descendants of Bhrigu, and their leader is Shukracharya, who is known as Ushana Kavi. So it's like that.
Now, Prabhuji, why then coming from the Brahmana dynasty, Shukracharya accepted to be the demons priest, like Kula na Shukracharya will say demons.
Yes.
So why a Brahmana accepts the post to be a spiritual master of demons?
So the other Brahmanas are teaching Nishkama Karma Yoga. Shukracharya teaching Sakama Karma Yoga. So the Asuras came and accepted me as their Guru. So Guru does not say no to a disciple when they come on their own accord. So you want to teach Sakama Karma Yoga and they are ready to hear and follow. So he accepted them. It is win-win solution for both of them. Devatas are not interested in Sakama Karma Yoga. And he is interested in teaching Sakama Karma Yoga. So Asuras are interested in learning Sakama Karma Yoga. And they came, he accepted. Done. Okay, sorry. Sakama Karma, not yoga. Sakama Karma we can say. Yeah, teaching Sakama Karma in that sense.
But why was, that's what I'm not understanding. Why was he being from the Brahmana dynasty wanted to teach Sakam Karma?
Oh, unka ichha abhi. Why? I don't know. So we just give a benefit of doubt. Oh, unka man tha aisa kuch to ho gaya hoga unka bashwa mein. Something like that. That is his desire to teach Sakama Karma. So he has got suitable disciples. And we don't know much details about them. Maybe Ramayana and Mahabharata might be giving some details. There is a conflict between Shukracharya and others. So he became very angry with others. So he wanted to do something opposite to them. So he has continuously teaches his disciples, telling them, you dethrone all the devatas, you become the Indra, etc., etc. So that is always there. Because of some misunderstanding, because of some event, there is some disturbance between brothers. Obviously it happens. So it is like that.
Okay, thank you.
Tayete munayakshattar lokan sarger abhavayan esha kardama duhitra santana katitaistava shrunvata shrutadanasya sadhya papahara para prasutim manavim daksha upayemehi at ajatmaja.
My dear Vidura, the population of the universe was thus increased by the descendants of these sages and the daughters of Kardama. Anyone who hears the description of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sensual reactions. Another of Manu's daughters, named as Prasuti, married the son of Brahma named Daksha.
Yeah. Oh Vidura, these sages produced various types of population. So here till now the description is only principally about the direct children of the 9 daughters of Devahuti, and their respective children are not mentioned. So that is in summary it is telling that all these wonderful personalities who are the children of the 9 daughters of Kardama and Devahuti produced many more children and populated the entire universe through these offerings. Unto you who is listening with faith, Shraddhanasya, have related the topics of grandsons and descendants of Kardama. which immediately destroy all sins. Hearing about the sons and daughters and their children, that means the grandsons of Kardama, will destroy all sins of the hearer. So just by hearing them, hearing about them, hearing their names, here you see all the great personalities that we come across in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam are all there here only. They are all the children of the 9 daughters of Kardama. So it's like that they have great lineage, ancestry. So hearing about them will purify our heart. And now starting from the next verse onwards, Maitreya will speak about the descendants of Prasuti who married Daksha. Third daughter. The first daughter Akuti was our details mentioned. We discussed in the last class. And today we discussed about Devahuti. And in the next class we discuss about Prasuti. And we'll continue with the second chapter. So we'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in the 35th verse, you mentioned about that Uttaya is the expansion of the Supreme Lord. Na? So we discussed right that in the dynasty of Swayambhu, Manu Supreme Lord appeared 6 times. So those 6 are the incarnations, and this is expansion. Means this is apart from that.
Yeah.
That.
He is not direct incarnation, but he is empowered. He is like Shakti Avesh. Okay.
And this in the 36th verse, that Dharagni we discussed, which you mentioned as fire of the stomach. So means there are 2 kinds of fire in the stomach, because in the 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Lord mentions that Aham Vaishwanara. So there the stomach fire is named as Vaishwanar, and here Dharagni. So there are different kinds of fire in the stomach.
Yeah, seems that there could be many more different kinds of fires.
Okay.
So in the next 2 we are going to read in the same chapter. There are 49 types of fires.
Okay.
So like there are also 49 types of winds. That's 49 maruts. We have 7 into 7.
Yeah.
Indra cuts the embryo of Diti into 49 pieces. They are like that. They are 49 maruts who are there. Similarly, there are 45 plus 3 plus 1. 49 fires are there. So it's like that. There could be many variations. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
I just one request, like if you can send that verses list for the for Canto 4. It
Okay.
will be helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
I have not prepared that. I will prepare and send it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, all the devotees, for joining today's class.